What is going on, Chivalry 2 gamers? The Champ Strider here, and today is Patch Day 2.10. Duel of the Fates has just released. You're currently watching the patch trailer, and can we just all agree that Torn Banner, it makes some of the best trailers in gaming. These trailers, they really capture all the magic and fun that can happen in Chivalry. It's definitely felt a little bit like Torn Banner has found some of their passion again. So let's dive into the patch notes. I'll give some quick analysis and opinions, and I just want to say I think this update, it might get some initial backlash, but given some time, I think this will be remembered as a really great patch for Chivalry 2, so let's dive in. Let's start with the big ticket feature, private servers. They're now available in Chivalry 2, so if you want to have your own custom server with special rules like no archers or first person only, you can do this. If you want to eliminate the maps the community absolutely despises, you can also do this. Private servers, they're going to be an amazing feature in Chivalry 2, and I did go in depth on this topic in the video right here. But for the players who play in events, tournaments, or clan battles, this feature, it's gonna be a massive win. However, what is not a win is gonna be the price tag. If you want to rent a server in Chivalry 2, it's $79.99 for a 64-player server, and that's each month. I'm just saying that sounds a little bit steep to me. I do plan on renting one this month, and we'll see if I can justify it after that, but the price tag, it's definitely a bit much. Now, we finally do have a team balancing feature added to the game. In a Reader's Digest, what this is supposed to do is just kind of loosely divide the teams each round based on player level. The goal here is just to make sure there aren't teams of people with hundreds of hours each in the game, all on one team against a bunch of players who just installed the game on Game Pass. I'm a fan of this system. I hate algorithm-based matchmaking like Call of Duty or Apex that feeds you wins and losses intentionally. So I think this is the perfect balance of kind of giving each match a balance pass while not drastically changing the gameplay experience. I love the idea. The only problem is apparently, as of the time of this recording, the system doesn't actually work, and it seems to just be stacking all the high-level players on one team, exactly what we're trying to avoid. So every match is going to just be a slaughter. Someone getting fired over this shit. You had one job and you messed it up. Come on, bro. And I'm hoping we get a quick tweet or something from the devs here that just says, hey, it's scuffed. We know it's scuffed, and we'll have a hot fix real soon. Ari, this is your chance to shine, brother. This is one of those things that if it's not fixed, like, sometimes Torn Banner, like the Siege Crossbow, they left broken for literally months. This can't be left broken for months. It's got to be fixed in a few days, in my opinion, or it's just going to destroy Team Objective. While on the topic of matchmaking, you can choose your preferred region to play in now. I think we've all, on occasion, had the inconvenience of being sent to a lobby completely across the world. So while not a groundbreaking feature, it's nice to have. Hopefully the hackers don't spread to other regions now. Onto the content, we have 3 new maps that function as free-for-all and TDM, or dueling maps. To the disappointment of probably almost everyone, there's no new team objective map this patch, so we'll start with Frozen Wreck and Bazaar. If you played the Breach of Baldwin, then you've played Bazaar. It's just a cut down section of that map. Not a map I'm excited for, but we do need more free-for-all maps, and I think they should do this like with virtually every map, just cutting a section out and making it a free-for-all map to keep that mode fresh. Now, Frozen Wreck, it also takes many assets from Thayx Stronghold, with destroyable ice being the main kind of gimmick. You can kind of play a mini game of fighting while trying to avoid the ice breaking under your feet, or you can even chop the ice out from under the feet of your unsuspecting enemies. It's kind of gimmicky, but it could make for some pretty cool and funny moments. Now, I do think the jewel of this update is going to be the Duel Yard. This is kind of like a sandbox mode that doubles as a practice arena and Duel Yard. Basically, the devs gave us a Chivalry 2 playground to experiment and make our own fun in. From pits to duel with spectators surrounding you, to areas to practice your feints and swing manipulation, to even a range to practice your siege weaponry and catapulting if you're into that kind of stuff. This mode is going to be absolutely loved by the players who currently hang around in the Duel Yard and meme around and like to have fun. There's going to be a ton of just amazing community-made content on this map, and I'm excited to see what creative stuff people come up with. And I don't think this map is ever going to get the love it probably deserves from the casual audience since they're mostly just clicking in TO and staying there. But I think those core hardcore players who've been playing the game for a few years are really going to love and enjoy this map. Now, just a side note here, these official Duel Yard servers, they're no longer going to actually have a dueling rule set, and the Chivalry 2 devs aren't going to moderate them anymore. That means it's basically going to be a free-for-all RDM fest. Now, the one I was in, everyone was super chill and behaving and having a good time, but we all know leaving gamers unsupervised generally never works. So I hope the player base can function like semi-normal human beings, but I'm a little worried these servers are going to degrade into complete chaos pretty quickly. Now, we also have a new battle pass, which is par for the course on these updates, so let's start with the good. There are some really cool cosmetics. I really like both the Messer skins and the one-handed sword skins. They look great. However, the rest of the pass, I have some problems with. For starters, there are some cool new VIP cosmetics you can use, from monk skins to crowns and druid masks. They're pretty cool, no questions asked there. But as a player who loves free-for-all, 99% of the player base does not play this mode, and these cool skins are going to be just a complete waste for them, so I don't fully understand the business practice of creating cosmetics that most of your players will never use. Now, secondly, while these VIP cosmetics, they're cool, they're also reused content and assets that are being sold to us. And you'll see this practice just littered throughout the battle pass, adding some paint or engravings to armor sets we already have and selling it as new content. To me, it just doesn't sit well. I'll just say it straight up, we probably shouldn't buy these passes if we're going to get sold reused stuff. But that being said, I'm a content creator and I'll use some of the stuff to make content, so I am going to wind up getting it. But I don't advise people to. I did find it kind of funny that the monk skins they're using as promo, they're holding a quarterstaff, but the monk skin we're going to get in game is usable by the footmen, and that's a class that, for reasons I don't understand, do not have access to the quarterstaff. Now, to close out our conversation about new content, the new weapon, the Golden Dag, the stick with a spike, apparently will not be out till the next update, which I was hoping we would get a more inspiring weapon sometime this year than a stick with a spike, so rip my hopes of a flail. Now, there were also a lot of behind-the-scenes changes as far as fixing bugs and glitches and making adjustments to the combat. I'll Reader's Digest this stuff for you guys. So let's start with our previous new weapon, the Siege Crossbow. It should actually work as intended now. I'm interested to see if this causes any balance changes to the gameplay, as you can now snipe deployables. The Ambusher, it also had its backstab radius fixed. Ambushers, they get bonus damage for striking an enemy in the back. However, hitboxes are notoriously fickle and Chivalry 2, so they should be more in line to what the player actually sees now. The Highland Sword, or my Highland Boys, is going to get a buff. It's going to receive 5 damage to slashes and stabs. Now, will this bring the Highland Sword back to the meta? Probably not, but it should make it a more healthy feeling weapon, as currently there was no reason to use one when the Greatsword is just better. They also slightly extended the tracers for the Qatar people, making it easier to land hits, but if you use the Qatars, you're probably a masochist and don't want to hit anything anyway. Now, the most interesting combat changes to me is that heavy stabs, they no longer go through teammates. I'm a bit disappointed by this, as idiot teammates will always come running from behind you to jump directly in front of you as you're fighting and attacking. It was nice being able to ignore their stupidity and stab right through their back. I'm not a fan of this change. I guess it's one of those things for realism, but we'll see if it alters the meta a little bit. Maybe spears won't be used quite as frequently. We will see after we get some sweaty lobbies to see how it all goes. All right, guys, that's it for me. Let me know what you think of the patch. If you made it this far, subscribe. Champ out.